Yo, away. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing good. This is the G.R.E. and we're gonna go over the balance page notes for season 8.5 of Marvel Rivals. So let's just jump straight into this cup. Okay, first on the list it is Angela. My favorite lesbian is mentioned. Okay. So they're reducing the kidnap ability of us from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. Should have just put it back to 3 seconds. I don't know why they increased it in the first place. And then her shield is getting more health from 300 health to 350. And then when she cancels the shield, the recovery rate from it is moving from 50 per second to 60 per second. So now that the shield can be cancelled and can be put up again in a shorter period than before. What this means is that she's just going to be kidnapping your healers in the backline and she's going to be scissoring them every 2 or 3 seconds. Like it's over. She basically got a melee cancel on a speed boost at this point, and she's just gonna be a demon in the backline. And what makes her a demon in the backline is what comes up next, which is my boy Devil Dinosaur. So they took him to the back and they just put him out. They shot him in the leg and now he's paraplegic because they removed his knockdown effect from the impact beam. They removed it. Flyers can escape him. There's nothing he can do against flyers. Iron Man is hitting good up there. Ultron is hitting good up there. There's nothing he can anymore do to flyers. The bleed is still in effect, but flyers can get out of the range of the beam. And then what also makes this a bit of a hassle is that his body barrier cooldown went from 10 seconds to 12 seconds. So that means you're just gonna have to be a lot more careful when you pop the barrier, because now that it's on a 2-second longer timer, Dino would just get his ass beat by everything and anything, unfortunately. So now they're also reducing the percentage damage from the bleed from 3% to 1.5%. Yeah, he's not over, he's not dead. They never decrease the amount of overshields he gets, they just decreasing the amount of damage the bleed does. So what those nerves do to Dino is that it makes him a lot more counterable. It's not like he wasn't counterable before. Motherfucker, like 15 heroes in the game that counters this motherfucker. But anyway, we're gonna just ignore that. What makes it a lot worse now is that, well, he's still usable, he's still viable. His survivability is just slightly nerfed, but we're just gonna have to see how this plays out. But his knockdown being removed just made Angela's buff a lot more significant, meaning that she can play within the enemy's backline without having to worry too much about Devil Dinosaur. So Magneto, well, is just a small thing. They increased his damage from the ultimate ability, which was the Massa Boost. The Fear Magneto throw that thing like it's LeBron or some shit. From 300 to 350, so it does more damage, and they increase the duration from 4 seconds to 5 seconds, meaning that now you can absorb more damage for a lot longer. And also now cloak and daggers are no longer safe. There's nothing that can keep me away from them. Bring that ass cheeks here, you interracial couple. Meg is doing us a favor. He's doing Dr. Umar a favor right now. But anyway, we're gonna leave it alone. Shout out my nigga Julius Malema. Anyway, so Rogue has finally gotten a buff. She's got a decrease to cooldown of a fatal attraction from 14 seconds to 2 seconds. 12 seconds, I mean. She's eating good. With this being said, she's a lot longer in the fight and she pulls a lot quicker now, meaning that, well, your backline is still not safe. Again, a Rogue and an Angela is just gonna ruin your entire day. Your healers are never gonna see the light of day. They'll never even see the outside of the spawn room with this buff. Even though it's just 2 seconds it's being shaved off of the cooldown, it's a lot when it comes to playing Rogue. And then they also reduce the energy consumption when using defensive stance from 60 per second to 50 per second. And then we also increase the energy absorbed, so the conversion ratio from that becomes from 35% to 55%, meaning now a Southern Brawl defensive stance takes a lot longer to get depleted. The bar that you see there depleting, and now the energy absorbed from it converting into damage is boosted up to about 55%. I think that's about a 15% increase or 20% increase. I might be wrong on it. Yeah, I think it is a 20% increase or 15% increase depending. But what this means now is that the amount of damage that Rogue now basically stores up with her defensive stance bumps up to 55%, meaning that when she uses a sudden brawl, she's going to be taking a lot more HP of the health bars. But it does it for the vanguards, it does it for my mains. Now let's get back into the fucking DPS. These must have all DPS players in the world fucking G.R.E must have gotten his dick sucked by a tank main, because I mean, do you see that on the screen? This bitch got taken out back and she was shot. She was shot in the back of the head. She was taken to the back rooms and she was dropped there. So Black Kid got mega nerfed. Like, if you see everything on the screen right now, I'm gonna put a picture there. There's everything. There's all the nerves. There's rundown, thief hair, gold digging ass. Oh god. So let's get into it. So now Felicia's got a reduction in the kid's critical damage from 50 to 40, and they removed one charge, meaning that the dash is now just one dash, but now the cooldown is going from 10 seconds to 8 seconds to compensate from that. But the amount of damage she's taking from it is also becoming is also getting nerfed. So now her dash does less damage and it's on a shorter cooldown, but it only has one charge. Now the reduce of the phantom pursuit damage, that was the iframe, is going from 70. It's going from 75 to 70, and nothing must change. You won't notice a difference unless it's you were an advert player, and they basically they took our bag and told her, bitch, inflation is shit. You're gonna have to pay the same prices as everybody out here. So now all of our abilities is going up by 100. The Mento Fish, the Flame Orb that reveals enemies, and the Flame Orb also got nerfed. It no longer reveals enemies behind objects. So now we got some good things. The ultimate ability did also get nerfed. This is good news. It goes, so the distance goes from 60 meters to 40 meters on a dash when she uses the ultimate ability. So when she dashes towards you, she needs to be a lot closer now. And now whenever she participates in an elimination, the final hit, it doesn't refresh the cooldown. Instead, it adds 3 seconds to the remaining time, up to a maximum of 10 seconds. So if they participate in eliminations, instead of it refreshing all of the 10 seconds like it used to, it will only add 3 seconds remaining time. And then if she keeps on assisting in eliminations, she'll reach a maximum of 10 seconds. So it basically incentivizes them to be like, look here, it's not gonna, you're gonna have to use the ultimate ability more aggressively. You're gonna need to get those eliminations up so it can stack up to a full 10 seconds. And then they also increase the ultimate second hit base damage from 30 to 70. So basically saying that they're gonna basically just compensate you for the nerf to everything else. And also you can no longer do basically percentage damage on 250 HP targets. So a total damage of 2 attacks is reduced from 110 to 100 for 600 health enemies. Total damage of 2 attacks is reduced from 180 to 100. So basically all of her ultimate attacks got nerfed. It got nerfed, put on the ground, shot her in the back of her leg, and they took her out. And they said, bitch, you're gonna be paying this interest. They basically increased everything on her, which is good. She was dominating and people started to learn how to use her, and we started to see how big of a problem she was. Also, if Devil Dinosaur got nerfed except her, there would have been a big bloody problem in the community. So thanks Ji-Young for actually making sure that this bitch gets put in jail. Now next we got Blade. Has got some good nerfs. I'm not the avid Blade player, so now he's unstoppable duration whenever he uses his block ability, which is the Scarlet Shroud. It increases to 1 second. And then his sword stance, whenever he does the Daywalker dash, which is the dash with the sword, the damage goes from 20 to 30, and then every time you spin you get about from 8 to 10 damage, and the total damage increases from 52 to 70. So the more you attack and the more blades, basically that number below the screen increases for him. he'll have a lot more opportunities to kill, and he'll be able to stay just a lot longer in the fight and do a lot more damage. Now on to Daredevil, the man without fear, the man that can just basically solo a 3-man team with no issues. He's getting a nerf to his basic wall legs, so they reduce the radar senses maximum range from 50 to 40 meters. They reduce the sonic pursuit dash, which is the dash when you lock on a target and then when you're close enough to them you dash towards them. They reduce that from 20 meters to 12 meters, and they also reduced his duration whenever he uses his parry. So the parry that he got, which was 1.5 seconds, is moving to 1.2. So the parry does not last as long as it used to, meaning that now Daredevil has to be a lot more careful with his engagements. He cannot just see enemies from 60 meters, what was it again, yeah, from 50 meters away and then plan ahead. He's gonna have to get a lot more close. It is just gonna have to be a lot quicker now. Like, he's gonna have to be in your face. He's gonna have to do a lot of things. Like, now whenever you hear Daredevil say I see you, as it I see you, I see you, whenever you hear Daredevil say that, you just need to turn around and you will find him. You'll just turn around and you'll find him. He can no longer hide away from you. So yeah, good nerfs overall to Daredevil. Elsa Bloodstone just got an increase to her build up towards her apex. What was it? No, a build up to a passive skill, which just means that she has to do a lot less damage now to just build up the passive skill, and there isn't really any damage increase from her. Just basically, this is basically just a quality of life change, meaning that she gets a lot stronger, a lot quicker in the fight. Now on to Human Torch. They reduced his flaming meteor attack, which was the one where Torch looks down at you and then just flies at the speed of light towards you and then blows you up into smithereens. They reduced the cooldown for it from 20 seconds to 15 seconds, which is good. It means that he'll have access a lot more to this ability, and this is basically his finisher. This is his finishing move if he is trying to maybe say take out a group of enemies. And it's also a good space maker, which when it crash lands, it basically pushes everybody away from the epicenter of the smash. Also, the plasma body single charge, which is the dash of his, it is getting a 10-second cool. Is getting a buff basically where the cooldown goes from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. So not much to speak about on Torch. He's just now a lot more viable, and they're giving you a lot more options as well for attack. So instead of just standing up there and you're waiting for primary and your other attacks to reload, you're basically getting a lot more of your attacks back. So now Moon Knight got some great nerfs. These are the nerfs we should have seen a long time ago, but now with Devil Dinosaur being basically nerfed and gutted, they needed to nerf Moon Knight now, because Cyclops is releasing and he's just a better Moon Knight, so to say. So now his Crescent Dart, which is his primary fire, goes from 25 to 23. It's not a fucking nerf. It's young. You're gonna find this Chinese bastard and we're gonna let's just move on. His Moonblade damage goes from 80 to 70. That's a significant nerf. And then when his blades are bouncing between you and the enemy team, he basically does a lot less damage. So yeah, but he'll still be building up his ultimate faster than anything else in the game. So some good nerfs overall to him, meaning that he does not dominate when people are grouped up like that. He'll still build these up fast enough. Namor, I am the king of the sea. They should just remove Namor from this game. They should take Namor out back, and not just take him out back. They should take him out back, put him in a body bag, ship him out, and then drop him in the middle of a desert, bury him 6 feet under, and then put a pyramid on top of it, and then just throw a nuclear bomb on it. If that doesn't work, just poison him or dress up a trans man as Susan Storm and let Namor get fucking ass. I'm tired, bruh. I'm tired of this. He got a buff. This Masagat got a buff. His buff is literally, so whenever his squad cooldown, so now whenever Namor hits you with a trident, which is his primary fire, which is not on a reload, which he can just keep on throwing, whenever he hits you with the primary, his cooldown for his fishy friends, I know they think Sagi's dick, I just can't prove it, becomes shorter. And basically Namor's squads is gonna be like when Namor puts down 2 squads and you kill one, the dead one squad that you killed, it's coming back now. It's like a rocket, be right back. That's how fast it is. So even if you take down one squad, there's always gonna be another one. Namor has been part of Hydra for years, so there's that on Namor's buffs. This fishy fucking bastard that swims on the ocean, I know he stinks. Anyway, let's move on to the worst character in this game, the devil himself, the devil herself, Phoenix. Phoenix got a slap on the wrist. Her healing over time was decreased from 10 per second to 15 per second. Okay, nigga. Cosmic flames damage fall off adjust to maximum damage fall off at 30 meters from 75% to 65%. She'll just have to throw a lot more attacks for her to now two-shot a 275 health enemy with a critical hit. She used to do that with like 3 shots. Now she has to do 5 to 6 shots, which, mind you, if enemies are grouped up, she still gets the healing over time, and her escape abilities still give her healing as well as just making her annoying to fight on any off angle, or even in a 1v1, whether you are a tank, a DPS, or even just a support. Phoenix is still the strongest DPS in the game, and now they're adding her husband in. I hate these couples, dog. Is this Marvel Rivals, or is it Love Island? I don't even know anymore. Anyway, also Star-Lord got nerfed. They just made it so that his elemental guns do less damage. Okay, we're gonna just speed run the entire strategist roster right now. So Adam got a buff in his cooldown. The more he hits enemies, the more he gets back. His Avatar Livestream Charge, which is the healing that Adam does. Cloak and Dagger, our favorite interracial couple, the people that make Dr. Umar very, very angry and make Julius Malema scream all the way from here to the next road, they are all getting a buff. So their primary fire healing is going from 16 to 12, and the spell field healing, which is the AoE healing whenever she hits somebody, goes up to about 20. So she's got a good buff in that. And also whenever she uses a veil, which is the white force field she sends out, which is basically just a white girl push, goes up from 15% to 20%. Not DPS pool, straight pool just bounces more on your day. And now Gambit, there's nothing to speak about here. They're just nerfing the movement speed from 25% to 20%, and then they're nerfing the damage multiplier from 25% to 20%, and they're nerfing the movement speed from 40% to 30%. So they nerfed his ultimate. Anyways, moving on, Ultron is facing about 2 nerfs right now. They reduced his drones from 35 meters to 30 meters, which means Ultron needs to play up a lot more closer, and they increased his Imperator Firewall, which was the damage boost, from 10 seconds to 12 seconds on a cooldown. And then they also increased his the Rage of Ultron, from 4000 energy to 4300 energy. And well, White Fox is just getting a reduction in the radius of her charm. So that's it for the patch notes. That's it for the patch notes. Nothing really significant. They changed a lot of problematic people. Obviously, the biggest nerf on this list was the Devil Dinosaur knockdown removal and the blanket list of changes. But other than that, hopefully this is a great season. I know this gay community with nothing but people who are scared to even try and we know anything is gonna say some other dumb shit about this, or they're just gonna throw your games like usual. Oh bro, why didn't you ban Rogue? Rogue is too strong, bro. Why bro? Why didn't you ban Angela, bro? Angela's too strong. You know this gay community already. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video and enjoyed it, hope you have a good day, my brother. And until next time, hope to see you again. Sharp and away.